that. Awesome. So congratulations on finishing your finals.
Thank you. I'm glad it's over. Stressful.
Well, you did it. So
Yeah.
you're heading back to Kansas City soon?
Yeah, I'm actually at home right now. I flew in last night.
Oh, great. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
good. Good. You get to enjoy the holidays. So
Yes.
good. Well, if we can we just kind of start with what life's been like since you left the academy?
Yeah, of course. Like Naval Academy life, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess whatever you kind of, yeah, that's what I know about to come to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to MMA, it was a transition. It's college, so it's a bit different. Um, a lot farther away from home now. MMA was a lot closer to home, so I had to transition into, uh, instead of a 2 or 3 hour drive, it's a 2 or 3 hour flight. You know, I was away from home a lot when I was at MMA, but when I was at the academy, I was even farther away from home. And had I not been at MMA, it probably would have been really hard for me with homesickness and whatnot. But because I'd already had that experience beforehand, it wasn't that terrible. Um, so there was a bit of homesickness because it's pretty hard. It's you know, pretty difficult to get through that kind of thing. But I felt a little more, I would say, ready to be farther away from home. That was like one of the big advantages I thought I had going in. Um, the academy life in general, it's once again, it's also difficult. But there's a lot of similarities to what I'd already been doing before I'd gone there. Um, like the physical, mental, moral, all three of those aspects. Those are like the three mission sets that they try to develop for midshipmen. So like kind of like what MMA has, they require you to do a sport, an activity. I'm in the drum and bugle corps, so I play drums. That's an excusal for doing that is my physical activity. Um, so yeah, you're required to do a sport. Yeah, we have a sports period like normal. It's very similar in that aspect. I would say big differences. STEM classes are mandatory. Everyone takes them, even if you're not a STEM major. I'm not a STEM major. I'm a political science major. But I still have to take physics, chemistry, calculus, all of the main math and science courses. Um, and yeah, those I didn't voluntarily take in high school. Uh, but because I still had to take them, I felt like I did. I was able to keep up. Uh, it's harder. The curriculum requires you to do a little bit of everything. So if you're not necessarily very strong in a certain aspect in high school, you kind of have to excel, or not excel. You kind of have to get through it. They kind of test you from every angle, whether you're not great at language, you're not great at math, you're not great at science, or one of those. They really test you. They make sure that you're capable of doing well in those classes, and they have a lot of resources to help you. So that'd be the big difference, school wise, between MMA and the academy. So that's kind of like the main changes that happened once I left.
Well, good. I'm glad that there was that. Yeah, it sounds like, so do you feel MMA, other than the homesickness, do you feel MMA did prepare you?
Yeah, well, I'd say like personal accountability, and I think I said this I think we had a previous interview before I graduated where I talked about how um, being like not having my parents with me all the time, well as MMA, kind of helped me understand better that it kind of helped me develop personal accountability for myself when it came to academics, athletics, and what I explained before with like how difficult things can be sometimes, that really helped me a lot. Being able to be self-dependent was huge in me getting through with the academy, you know, because it's really hard had you not had that experience or had your parents by your side each step of the way. MMA has a lot of academic help, but when you're what in study hall. It's up to you to find the best ways to study, the best ways to allocate your time. So I found that very valuable. And I've transitioned that into how the academy, how I live academy life.
Right, glad to hear it.
Hmm.
So I'm curious, with you being in the Drum and Bugle Corps, yeah, so you were pretty involved in athletics here.
Yeah,
Do you miss that, or?
I do. I do miss that. I was pretty involved in athletics at MMA. Obviously not. I wasn't gonna go into a Division I level sport. Um, so the Naval Academy specifically has Division I sports. I did. I think for maybe a month or so, I was in club water polo, and then in addition to be drum and bugle corps, because I wanted to do some sort of sport. I wanted to stay in an athletic activity. But I realized I needed to allocate my time to either one or the other, and I chose drum and bugle corps because I've always enjoyed music. I did marching band at MMA, um, so I decided to do that. Even though I'm not doing a sport uh, right now, I still work out. When I was a plebe, I still had to go to workouts every day. Um, so I do miss the sports. I like how MMA allows you to choose sports. Everyone has to do a sport, so it's a lot more accessible. Like the sports teams at MMA are very open and accessible for cadets to try something out or try something else out. Not every high school is like that, so I'm glad I got to experience that. And yeah, that's what I would say about that.
That's great. That's great.
Hmm.
So, kind of what's next for you with the Naval Academy? Like, or what are you looking forward to next as you're moving forward?
Um, I'm looking forward to having like really unique opportunities. Traveling, commissioning, obviously being an officer. I haven't decided exactly what I want to do yet. I remember at MMA my senior year, I wanted to commission as a pilot. I wanted to be because only officers fly. Um, so I wanted to be a pilot. My mind is kind of shifted around a little bit. I'm considering other options like surface warfare or submarines. Um, so that's in my near future. That's my main focus. Right now, excuse me. Right now, really getting involved in academy life, seeing meeting other people, really involving myself in as much things as possible. I know for football specifically, because I'm in drum and bugle corps, I look forward to all the cool trips we get to do. We get to go to football games. I got to go to Colorado for Air Force. Um, we got to go spend a day in DC before Army Navy, so that was fun. So in the near future, just classes, getting to travel, getting to see new things, getting to meet new people, and then in a little more distant future, in the next 2 years or so, I'm gonna really lock in what I want to do in the Navy, or the Marine Corps if my mind changes. So yeah, that's really what I'm mostly thinking about right now.
Awesome. So that Army Navy game, you had the opportunity to meet up with some of our other MMA
Hmm.
alums, which is fantastic. And I'm curious, how'd you guys connect? How do you stay in touch? How'd that come
Yeah.
about for you guys to do that?
That was awesome. That was kind of pre-planned a little bit. Last year it was me and Lucas Sydlewski, uh, or Sydlewski, sorry. We met up probably a week before. We didn't meet up a week before. We contacted each other a week before. We're like, hey, we're gonna see each other Army Navy. You want to meet up? I'm like, of course. We can get a talk, meet each other, get a picture. Um, And since we've had Bradley join us and he's at the preparatory school right now, but preparatory school cadets and midshipmen still go to the game. This year we planned it so we would meet um, like we did last year, and we got a cool picture. And we really talked about it was an awesome experience, and we talked about how it's really cool to see alumni committing to service, doing really cool things. And I know all three of us really hope that that it can hopefully inspire other cadets to really see what they're capable of doing, challenging themselves, going to a harder college than they might want to go to, see what they're capable of. And that's kind of what when we met, we were like, this is really cool. And why I was sharing the photos with you. I I think cadets really like to see that because it makes them proud. I hope it makes people proud. Um, and I hope it motivates them to maybe challenge themselves and go above and beyond and chase their aspirations for what they want to do. Because I know all three of us, me, Bradley, and Lucas, we all really wanted this and we had to work really hard for it. And we really want to show people that, or cadets, that if they really try their best, they can they can reach their goals. It's a little cliche, but that's kind of what we talked about. It was really cool to meet. It was really cool to get that picture. Um, yeah, it was awesome. And I'm sure we'll do it next year. Hopefully, we'll have some more cadets that are applying join us next year. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Well, it's great that you guys can kind of celebrate being there together.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
our whole conversation was about MMA. We weren't really talking about the Army Navy game. We asked a few questions about the academies, but we were just talking about MMA. We were talking about the good times we had together. So that was the main topic of conversation when we were
so
there.
what do you miss the most about MMA, or what are some of those favorite moments?
I do miss it, and it's only been 2 years, or a year and a half. The people, my friends. I met so many great people, faculty, obviously other cadets, alumni. I miss being really close, seeing each other every day. I'm still in contact with a lot of other people in my class all the time. I miss that a lot, though, seeing everyone in person every day. I do miss it. Uh, yeah, hopefully I get to meet some more of my classmates in the near future.
Right,
Go to an
awesome.
alumni event, alumni weekend when I'm able to.
Yeah. Well, we hope so too. We love seeing you guys get together, and yeah, and hearing when you do as well.
Hmm.
So you talked a little bit about what that you hope other cadets set those aspirations high and know that if they work hard they can get it. Do you have any advice for I feel like we've got we've got like cadets who are brand new, and so there's always that question of okay, what am I doing? This is a new environment. So I guess two-part question. One, any advice for new cadets, and any advice for our graduating seniors as they're kind of getting ready to leave the academy?
So for new cadets, I know when I first got to MMA, I didn't really know what was going on. It was during COVID. It was a hard time. But I really got involved in a lot of activities. I got involved in sports. I got involved in band. Later on, I got involved in Future Business Leaders of America, FBLA. I kept myself really busy and I did a ton of different things. At some point, I did Fusiliers as well. Like I was trying everything out. My advice is if you're new, try different things out, even though you might not be comfortable with it at first. I wasn't comfortable with it. But I really got to meet a lot of people. I got to make a lot of connections. I got to meet different people from different backgrounds. MMA is a melting pot of different people from different places, different cultures. I got to meet different people. I got to try different activities. If you do that, first of all, you'll get to know the core better. Um, you'll feel more involved, more included. It was a really good feeling being really busy, being really involved in all the activities. Kept me busy, kept me from being homesick, honestly. That's my main advice to new cadets. Really get yourself out there, even though it might not be comfortable at first. And it's easier said than done. But getting yourself really involved in activities, that's that is what really helped me be able to improve time management. There's social benefits. There's also benefits to your own like character. You mean you're more organized. MMA is a good opportunity for you to challenge yourself, and I would take advantage of that. That would be my main advice to new cadets. To seniors, at the time we're talking, most of them have gone through the college application process. They're finishing up. Um, and my main advice would be if something doesn't work out early on, um, it might be hard. And for me specifically, my case, if I hadn't gone and gotten into the school I'd wanted to, I don't know what I necessarily would have been doing, but it was early. I was only 17, 18 years old. There's time. If things don't work out the first time around, the dream college you wanted to go to, you didn't get into, there are other options. You have time. You're going to graduate from high school. There's so many different options. Don't get down on yourself if things don't work out 100% your way the first time around. I honestly find myself lucky that I got into the academy. It took a lot of effort, but the acceptance rate's fairly low. If that hadn't worked out, um, you know, I might have gotten down on myself. And my best advice for seniors is if things don't work out the first time around, just try your best to keep your head up. You're not running out of time. You're not even 20 yet. You have time to reapply next year. You take a gap year. I know MMA offers postgraduate year. There's so many different options. It's really easy to get down on yourself, and I've experienced that. Now that I'm at the Naval Academy, things aren't 100% always going my way. And it's really easy for me to get down on myself and feel like, you know, oh, it's going to be hard in the future, that kind of thing. My best advice would be try to keep your head up. You have time, you're young. You don't have to, it's not all over, I guess, if something didn't work out.
That's good advice. Yeah,
Hmm.
glad to hear it. So I'm curious too, and yeah, and I know it's a lot of work to apply to the Naval Academy, to a service academy. So you had to do quite a bit of work to get there. Um, at the academy, we do value that college prep, and so did you find the environment, the MMA environment, helpful for supporting you? And if so, kind of how? Can you talk about that a little bit?
With like regard to like getting me prepared or like for the application, are you
Yeah,
asking or?
yes, yeah, because we've got,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, MMA focuses on college admissions. You have like your college admissions counselor. I don't think every high school has that. I went to some high schools during Thanksgiving. They didn't have like they had counselors. They didn't really have college admissions reps. Um, and when I graduated, Mr. Roundy was my college, was like the college counselor,
yeah.
admissions counselor. I don't remember his exact title. Not every school offers that, and I think that was the most helpful. I got opportunities to go make school visits. MMA prioritizes that. I think seniors get college visit days. Not every school does that. They don't like encourage people to go around and visit colleges. So, but I think MMA encouraging traveling, visiting colleges. It's a college prep school. That I think that's in the title. I think that was very valuable. I valued that the most, and that probably gave me a large amount of a pretty big advantage when applying because MMA was very open to um, giving me time to work on this application that was taking a lot of time. For example, I took college furlough, I believe that's the they call it. Um, I got a college furlough, an extra college furlough, like 2 days to go drive to Central Kansas to do my nomination interviews. If I hadn't gotten those, it might have been a lot more difficult to absences, classes. But since I had Mr. Roundy, college admissions counselor, to help me out, kind of give me some advice about it, give me those days off, encourage those days off. Additionally, I it was a lot easier, and I felt like I was encouraged to go out and do that interview, and it enabled me to get that application done in a pretty timely manner.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Um, so I have a question. I'm curious to hear your answer. So in our culture, attending military school has got negative connotation, and a lot of times,
Hmm.
people are, it's a joke on you get sent to military school. And so if I'm curious as to how you would answer who does go to military school from your opinion, like based on MMA and who you are, who you were with. So how would you answer that about who, as far as who you are and kind of what your knowledge of attending a military school is?
It's funny that you mentioned that. I constantly get that comment like, "Oh, you went to military school," but I don't feel ashamed. I'm very proud of it, and people are kind of surprised when I tell them I have no regrets going there. I'm very happy with where I am because I went. Um, I think there's a very big misrepresentation of what military schools are. The people I met at MMA my 3 years are some of my best friends and the people I still keep in contact with. And the people I hung up around with, the people I remember from MMA, were very they had high aspirations. They wanted to maximize what they got out of MMA, the unique opportunities for leadership and academics, the like taking classes at William Woods University, like those kind of opportunities. Not everyone gets, and I got that at military school. I credit MMA with getting me to where I am right now. So I'm very proud of where I've come from. And I think the whole story, like the whole idea of military school being a bad thing is completely overblown. I think it's for movies. I think it's for media. Uh, MMA specifically, I never thought of it that way. I think people that go there, they want to be there if they stay there. And um, they want to be their best selves, and that's why they're there. That's why people want to stay at MMA. Um, yeah, that's kind of my idea of the people I was around. I think that was the kind of the culture that I had with my closest friends and the people I was close with at MMA.
Thank you.
Hmm?
Is there anything that that I haven't asked that you want to touch on? You've done a great job of, yeah,
Yeah.
talking about it.
I guess kind of following up on Army Navy and the pictures. I just really hope that people can look at that and see that um, you should, and I think I already mentioned this. I just want to reiterate that you need to, you're at a time where you can really push. If you're a cadet or if you're a rising junior or senior, you're at a time where you can really show off what you've been able to achieve at MMA, the hardships of being away from home. You can turn that into a very, very good thing. You can turn that into a learning experience, and you know, you can make it a very positive thing. Because most cadets will tell you it's kind of hard being away from home. It's hard to be in a challenging environment. Waking up at I don't know when they wake up. I think it's like 6:30. It's all very hard, but I sometimes I don't think cadets appreciate that as something that could be used positively. In my specific experience, it's been a very positive thing. It's helped me get through the experience that I'm currently, I mean, going through. You can turn that into a really good thing, and that's the main advice I would have for cadets is what you have right now, even though you might not always see it that way, is a foundation which you can use in university, in your next job. You have a sense of responsibility. Most all cadets have that sense of responsibility, and you can really use that for whatever you do after high school. That would be my main advice. And I really want to push that message to cadets and get them really excited for what they're going to do after MMA.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and
Yeah.
offering this encouragement and advice. I know it's going to be
Yeah.
helpful. So, well,
Yeah. Thank you for talking with me. And if I don't know if I already mentioned this, just I said this about new cadets, but all cadets in general, get to know people, talk to people, even though you don't want to all the time, really get to know your people, your friends. And I know from my experience, my best friends from any of the school I'm going to go, like any school I go to, are going to be from MMA. I have a really close bond with them and I still talk with them all the time. Get close to your friends right now, get to know people at the academy right now. And trust me, they'll be friends for life. Take advantage of the time you have with some really great people.
Awesome. Great. All right. That's fantastic. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy your winter break. Have a great holiday, and yeah, good
Yeah.
luck as you finish the next semester too.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank
Appreciate
you.
talking with you.
Bye.
Bye.